Greetings everyone. Let's begin our talk today with a small throwback. Now, think of a time when you were still little. You were innocent and unaware, and you tried to do something out of curiosity. Now, please raise your hand if you ever tried to ride a bicycle and fall in love with after trying to do some tricks. I can see hands over there too. That's so great. How about another case? Have you ever tried to put your finger into a pencil sharpener to see if you could get thinner? That's you right there. One of you right there too. That's still so many, right? And the last thing, something spatial, but classic, it's easy. Have you ever tried to raise a patient during class and ended up being made fun of? That's you over there, a little bit. And that's over there too. So some of you have experienced that. And you have ever had a moment like this during your life, and now when you look back, you think it is so silly and ridiculous. And you'll probably have a very haunting experience of curiosity. So curiosity is a very complex biological response in the human brain, and as kids, this trait seems to be the most obvious, the most instinctive. And sometimes that's the way curiosity works, and we end up having to pay a high price for such impulsive actions. I remember one time trying to sneak into my friend's parents' garden to see what we call could turn those small seeds into those big plants. I spent the whole evening digging up the dirt in their bed. The only thing that I received afterwards was just smeared, and the itchy rash all over my hands that lasted for weeks. At the age of 5, my mother told me that, "Why are you acting so stupid?" I suppressed my desire to know and threw my kind of curiosity back into college. That feeling of embarrassment, of anxiety, and to be a big or different just build itself over time and make us hesitant towards our choices. As we grow up, we tend to prevent curiosity from growth. We no longer want to ask questions during the past. We no longer want to raise hands. We no longer want to dive deeper into the reasons underneath. It's what it is. Backward. Just think in that way. We just assume and cheat the reasons. We no longer want to be curious anymore. And as I mentioned, curiosity is something you want, something that flows in your blood and drives in my unconscious. And because it always stays there, we should not try to prevent it anyone, but try to confront it and take advantage of it in some way. This realization came to me not long ago, when I had to head back to my hometown to have my grandparents renovate their garden. And I was scared at first, because I was reminded of those unpleasant experiences. But a tiny, tiny part inside me started to feel excited, springy. This time, I wear gloves and started digging. I'm so surprised I found not just mere dirt and trash anymore, but a complex, animated world of ground floor life deserving of appreciation and knowledge, coming from the warm sprinkling inside, coming from the warmth, the moisture, the smoothness of the dirt. I was eager to open myself to new experience, to new horizons, all thanks to my curiosity. And the moment that I looked down on the protected place, I realized that this is because my curiosity has become prepared. By this, I mean that I am more prepared, both mentally, intellectually, physically, for such experiences to happen to myself and to start my own journey of self-exploration, steadily and slowly. To give you a clear example to this new definition, imagine yourself seeing the water for the first time. You are extremely excited right now and want to jump directly into the water. And your curiosity is the moment you jump right in. Without hesitation, preparation, you might get thrown. So don't listen to that mere curiosity. But prepared curiosity is the moment you pause. You pause yourself to to bring a swimming pool with you and look around to see if there are lifeguards on duty. So you can see that curiosity is instinct to achieve the course of things right. But the prepared part is all the knowledge cultivated over time that helps you in the moment you need. So, up until now, you might be curious about why you should be curious. You might have read so many articles about how curiosity encourages creativity, critical thinking, innovation, and so on. But the one thing that I want to emphasize here from my story and from the development of the prepared curiosity is that it helps you to really trust in yourself to expand core values further and further. So let's do a small survey right now. Okay. Now please raise your hand if you ever thought that your curiosity is silly. That's hands over there too. That's hands over there. So some of you guys have thought that you start to be right by putting aside your important thoughts. And I've done the same things like, oh, we got. But now I realize that those tiny, tiny sparks of curiosity pop inside your head randomly, suddenly, instinctively might be the littlest sources of motivation I will use. Such thoughts that you try to ignore and overlook can have the potential to turn into something big, something massive, something important, because it stems deeply from inside you. You truly, truly know what you want. There's no need to replicate anyone or to try something fancy as your hobbies. It's already in you from your own sparks of curiosity and interest. So make sure that those sparks of curiosity could become a life-changing moment for yourself in your life. The prepared partner plays a role. If curiosity is just not enough for you, keep motivated in the long run. At this point right now, you must allow yourself to adapt, to experience your passion a little bit more. So I will share a little bit I have applied to myself to see if my curiosity is telling me the right thing. I've based it on an educational method on depth of curiosity, but I have based it on patience based on the fact that we are self-learners, and we might have already know what we are curious about. So this is the first step, absorb. After the curiosity hits you and sparks you in wait. You will be filled with thoughts about this topic and it gives you an urge to know more information about it. For me, it starts with me following some Instagram accounts on environmental topics and took some online courses about what. And as I scrolled down all the comment section, posts, took down a lot of notes, I was always eager to know more. Now for you, it might be like following some Instagram accounts through, or to search and hashtag online on Facebook, right? Or read a guidebook or studying abroad if you want to be a foreign student. Now, move to the next stage with first. Just like the name, you want to give it a more realistic try. You want to try something new, something familiar, but small, but also new to your experience. Now, it's really important to see some small successes to boost your confidence, but sometimes failure to learn some valuable lessons for yourself. For me, after a lot of ongoing some online courses, I started to build a garden on my balcony and to raise some plants. Although that I have some experiences related to gardening before, this is my first time trying to do something, trying to grow some plants and care for it, water it, and take care of it every day. And I was proud of myself and always motivated to do more. After I sowed some cabbage and some plants like cabbages did. Now for you, it might be, let's say, if you're keen on photography. Now you want to use your iPhone for aesthetic poses instead of just grabbing photo shoots. You want to try different angles, conditions, even light settings to make you look more presentable and to create a new style for you, and then share with your friends about your new identity right now. So you'll see yourself in the first stage, which I call the work. As you can see, now you will take a leap. Like, it's not just really, really, really big. You want something bigger, and last longer into your future. You want to integrate it with all the core values or features, add a personal taste to it, or taste for other space. And now for me, it started with me deciding to become an environmental scientist in the field of field science, which is completely bigger from a tiny, tiny spot of curiosity back then. And as I made up my mind, I started to build a project on my own to raise funds for tree planting and activities to promote the use of microbial fertilizers instead of chemicals. And as I worked, I was always motivated to do more, to devote more of my time, more of my effort to my project to make it bigger, and to help more locals and to improve the soil conditions there. Now for you, among you guys, some might want to become a businessman or businesswoman in the future. You might think of starting a small startup of your own right now, selling homemade beverages or accessories, stationery. And you start to give more time, more dedication to it to make it more better for you. Now, you will see in which the final stage also. This is where I see that I have changed my perception. I'm deeply more committed to my interests. And also, I see a new acknowledgement about my identity. I realize what defines me mostly, which are my interest in academics, research in science, and willing to make a slight change in the world to help the environmental problems out there, and to leave a legacy of my own. I see that my interests become central and fundamental to my future self. So after this whole long talk, you might see the power of your curiosity and how you can unearth it to its full potential. To have a better sense of yourself, and sometimes just to use it. Curiosity always stays there with you, even when you try to abandon it, or when you're much, much older in your life. So you and your curiosity has a lot of things to work together right now. Take the next step from childish to near curiosity. Your prepared curiosity is more conscious, more diverse, almost dimensional, but yet still interesting and distinctive. So now for your future, let curiosity be the light and preparation you need. Thank you for your listening.